Morning, everybody. Welcome to a chilly December morning. So, got a little dusting and snow on the ground. But, yeah, we're going to walk out here to the office and talk real quick. I left the lights on last night. Um, as you can see, we've got our cedar and planters. The 60 footer is over in that building over there. But we're going through everything, making sure we're taking inventory of parts because next month I need to sit down with Farm Credit Services and go over what our operating loan needs to be for this year. Um, anyways, yeah, run in here. Close these doors and maybe turn the heat on in here. A little chilly out there. So, well, we'll sit down here and we'll kind of look at the spreadsheet and look at our bank real quick. Kind of show you what's going on. All right, we'll talk about our loan balances real quick. Um, see, this is my personal. Still going through Farm Credit Services because mortgage basically on the farm. We have been paying it down. Still owe quite a bit of money on that. This was our operating loan for last year. This 260,000. We did get our check in uh, from uh, from our insurance, and we've turned and we've paid that down, and it equaled like $192,390. And if you guys can remember, it's like $795 an acre. We had 242 acres that we were farming uh, this year. Going into next year, we've dropped that small field. We're just going to do, well, it's 239. So I didn't see much sense in keeping that little field. And the landowner had interest in bringing it back for his dairy operation. So, anyways, so yeah, that is our loan setup. As you can see, and we've paid some of this down, because I do have a monthly payment. Basically, we probably lost $65,000 this year, which is not good, not good at all. But given the basis, we're not the only one. Just about every farmer in the region has lost money. It's no different than flooding that happened over near Mississippi River several years ago. It's just one of those things. Things happen. Um, so we'll jump over here. Really haven't changed. I don't think I've changed too much. May not have changed anything. Um, yeah, pretty much everything's staying the same. So in January, be sitting down with them, and this is right now. This is basically our operating loan, and may get a little bit extra depending on what we find out in parts that we need for our equipment. We've got. I do have everybody coming in still. Normally, this would be the kind of the slow time. We'd just be finishing up with harvest. I give them a little bit of break until um, just after Christmas time, and then we'd start hauling grain come January. But that ain't happening this year. Not happening this year. Uh, I'd have a couple of guys hauling grain, and the rest of them going through equipment. But what we want to try to do is make sure all of our equipment is right this year. And looks like we're going to be borrowing a significant amount of money. maybe almost $750,000 just to operate this year. I did decide that I am going to spend the money and go ahead and lime everything because I want to get everything up to par. And then what I'm going to do is every year, which means next year as well, even though we're liming this year, I just want to go ahead and get in that habit. Anywhere that we are going to sow corn, plant corn, we are going to lime. So all the fields will get limed every 4 years. So hopefully that is good enough. And, that way our pH won't drop too much to where it's detrimental to us. So it's kind of maybe a little bit of a godsend this year, losing everything that we lost. We're just going to go ahead and suck it up, drive on, spend the money, get everything right, and hopefully we make money next year. We want to maximize our yield as much as possible because I do have, still $55,000 to pay off, and I'll be paying that in $5,000 increments. So by the end of next year, this will be paid because I'll pretty much have it paid off in certainly a year. By next December, it'll be paid if I don't pay anything else on it. And I might just go ahead and pay it off once I get this other operating loan. And, so anyways, enough rambling. Let me kind of show you guys around real quick. That off, it's heated. So I told you guys, I think last time, and I'll apologize for rambling. Last time I kind of still coming off of what I would call hay fever, or just basically out there messing with that ragweed, it blowing up in my face and really causing some havoc. Anyways, I did get some new seed discs for this planter. Actually, it would work on the other planter too, but I'm not going to plant stuff on 30-inch rows. So I can plant my small grains with this planter now. I can plant the oat and the barley. And so I'm considering maybe selling this or trading it for something else that we could use. Now, this come in extremely handy with sowing the oilseed radish. But considering I am going to be doing oilseed on some crop rotations, that allow the time to do that, like when I harvest the barley. And I think going into soybean, I think I can do that then. Or maybe it's soybean to corn. But I can probably buy a smaller seeder, and that it would work just as well. This has been a good one for us. But if I can capitalize on selling this, maybe to pay off some of that debt, that would be awesome. Or, like I said, using that as a trade in on something else that we could use. Right. And Dad designed this one. I got no idea why he didn't put a walk-through door, so I'm going to come over here and lift this door up. We got the tractors. I moved the combine over here. They're doing oil changes on everything. we just had this thing gone through, and really and truly, we had basically half of a note harvest on it. And so it really doesn't need a whole lot. I mean, we are looking at it anyway. Of course, the 7R is in good shape, and it's still under warranty. That's the beauty of that one. This one here, of course, we're doing oil changes and everything on them, getting them ready. Uh, this one here is a little bit older, uh, and so we're just going through and kind of being a little bit nitpicky with it, and hopefully minimize any kind of breakdowns. Well, go. Like I said, out here we've got the 1775 out here, our 60-footer or corn planter, going through it. We're going to be replacing all of the um, opening discs, checking all of our bearings in our row cleaners, um, our gauge wheels, the whole 9 yards, and just making sure everything's good. We did have a few hoses that we needed to look at, had some ice get in them. And it's the problem. It's very hard to completely clean this out. And then if you got rodents, which anytime you've got a farm, you've got rodents, sometimes they get in there and they want to get to that corn that's in it. And so they'll chew through whatever they have to get to it. So going through all that, replacing some hoses, um, just checking our meters, cleaning them up. Because when you get that seed treatment on there, it starts gumming things up. So we'll go through and clean everything. Ooh, no, can't get through that. So we're probably going to. It's going to be a kind of a. I'll put this out in increment. Well, no. What am I trying to say? I'll stop recording here in a little bit. And I'll see you guys probably in January after I sit down and talk with Farm Credit, get our operating loan for this year. And yeah, that's a scary thought. $750,000. Of course, that's what I borrowed, with the mortgage and the operating loan. But considering we just lost everything, it's kind of scary because we obviously know what we're going to get if something happens again. We're only getting about a little less than 200,000, so that would mean we'd be on the hook for 500. So that's a little scary. It's a little scary, but that's what farmers do. We do what we do this year and pray for a better year next year. So, all right, I'll shut this thing off. I'll see you guys in January. Hey, good morning, everybody. We just crossed the river, headed over here to Farm Credit Services. We're going to sit down and meet with our financial guy and go over this year's plan/budget, and hopefully we can get some money. I did hear that our big brother, federal government, has kind of done some things to help the farmers around here, so maybe we'll get a little bit of piece of that pie. But we'll just have to see. We'll have to apply for that. That's not going to be anything automatic today, so we'll see. But we're here. We'll be in here for a little bit. Then I'll get back with you. Well, that was kind of painless, but it probably going to be painful throughout the year. Just got a notification that they have electronically transferred the money to my account. So I took out that in your way, buddy.
Piss
Or you
off.
just standing there. Well, top of the morning to you. Anyways, get out of this. He seems to be waiting on me. Yeah. Alrighty then. Anyways, um, we are now a little more than, well, $1.2 million in debt if you include my mortgage. So I went ahead and just took out $750,000 because there are some repairs that we need to do to some of our equipment, and so I wanted to have the extra money. And there is a program that the government has authorized, more or less, through the USDA, and of course I applied for it. And if I get approved, then they will pay up to 75% of my monthly um, repayments. However, I have to pay that for this year and then submit it for reimbursement, obviously. Now, the repayment on this loan is about $14,000 a month. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and top off with some diesel here. And I may run in and get some Casey's pizza. The mirror's broke. It just wants to flop around over there. All right. I'll see you in a minute. All right. Well, I'm all topped off. Jiggling some wires out there and got my mirror to working. So, if you are not from the Midwest and you happen to be traveling through the Midwest, I highly, 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 and let me say that again, highly recommend you stopping in at a Casey's. They have some of the best food, um, especially their pizza is just unbelievable. So yeah, if you're ever traveling, like I said, through Iowa, um, the Midwest range, you see a Casey's, pull in, get you some pizza. You won't regret it. I promise you. But anyways, so yeah, if I get approved, then we can be looking at 3/4 of our payments being paid in 14,000. What is that? About $10,000 a month. That's being paid, or that I'll get reimbursed. Which, if the government's going to give me money, I'll take it. I pay enough of it in every year. So if they're going to give me some of that back, I'm going to take it. So I'll head back up here. But yes, there's some things that changed. Before Christmas, I had the dealership come up and just one of their sales guys come up and look at our seed drill. And he looked it over and he actually told me that he knew of a guy that was looking for one of those seed drills. And instead of going through the dealership and trading it and whatnot, because, obviously they're going to give you trade in value for it, not retail value. he just put me in contact with the guy. And so he come out, he looked at it. He did pay for the shop to come up and just inspect it and to make sure that he was comfortable spending that kind of money. But he bought it, and we sold it for about $188,000. And so I went on the look for another seed drill, something smaller, and I did find one, a little bit smaller, not a whole lot smaller, but it is older. And go out here and take a look at it. It's all mechanical, nothing electronic on this, so it'll be good for seeding um, just our cover crops. So this would be good. You just dump your seed in there, go out in the field, put it in the ground. You know, you set your set what your rate basically, and you just go to town. So I picked that up, and I didn't want to have. We used to have an older John Deere tractor with a front loader, and that's how we moved our seed and stuff around. But it was old, and so we sold that. So with that money, I ended up buying this little, what do they call it, a teleskid, I think. And so this will help us, just in general, um, around the farm here. I didn't want to get the telehandler in here. That thing is just massive. So we're going to store our seed in here, which I'm getting ready to go in here and place an order for that. And I bought my dad's old plow truck. It's an old F-250, early 80s model. I can't remember exactly what year it is. But so far we've had kind of a mild winter, just a dusting. So haven't had to use that yet, which is good. Year before last, we had a lot of snow. So yeah, so things are looking up. I did get some news on my credit score. My credit score is good enough. I can put myself in some serious trouble. Borrowed money. So, but anyways, yeah, we've gone through these. Like I said, we replaced all of the disc openers. Went through, replaced what bearings we needed to, replace some hoses on this. This one right here was in pretty decent shape. A few disc openers. It's going to see some acres this year. So next year probably be, completely rebuilt. Well, not completely rebuilt, but everything replaced. But I am going to go ahead and order a bunch of disc openers and other gauge wheel bearings and bearings for the closing wheels and whatnot. Because, like I said, this thing's going to see a lot of use, and we want to make sure we've got the parts available if something breaks. Do need to go ahead and get some more arms, um, and some more shanks for just in case. Normally, I mean, the worst thing back here is you lose a spring, or a bearing goes out, or you may even lose a closing wheel. Kind of the same thing with the gauge wheels. Bearings go out, they loosen up right here. You lose a gauge wheel out in the field. But I have had like these lower arms break, and it just drags this unit. And there are different sizes on this. Like over here, These are a lot longer than some of these inside here. So, but yeah, we'll get some of those on order so we have them. Likewise, a lot of this is replacement or not replacement, but the same stuff. Gosh almighty, man, my brain is just fried. I'm always worried when I have to go borrow money. So, but we got the 9R in here, going through it, and got its oil changed, so it's going to see some action. Normally, we're no-till as much as we possibly can, but because we come and we put in all that seed radish or that oil seed radish, all that's going to have to be dissed in. So that tractor right there is probably going to start here in February, middle of February on our ground, our oat ground, and that way it's ready come March. We can start planting as long as the weather's good. So, but guys, this is just kind of informative. I know there's not been a whole lot of action going on, but things are. We got money. I don't know if it's looking up for the farm, but we got some money to spend. Like I said, I'm going to place a seed order. I'm going to go ahead and order our starter, our fertilize. Maybe you can go ahead and buy our herbicide mixtures and everything we need. I'll get with the agronomist and just kind of contemplate what we may need. Now, some of that may change once the crops start coming out of ground, and whatnot. But the stuff that we kind of use all the time, I may go ahead and get some of that in here. But yeah, $14,000 a month we have to pay, plus my personal of another $5,000, so that's $19,000 a month. Oh my gosh, that our payments are, and that's not even buying any equipment. Now I still have equipment lease on the 7R over there, and so that comes out. That's another what, $1,000, $1,200 I think it is per month, and yeah, so yay, farming, it's fun. You'll make it rich farming. No, you won't, guys, gals, everybody. Thanks for watching. You guys have a great one. Until next time, I'll see you.